I. Listen, he has been so dialed in all night, James. He has been excellent, arguably their best player. And he's trying to preserve the lead here by holding on to this one to get the face-off.
Getting into the later stages of this period, the Leafs have taken the lead here over the last few minutes. They'd love to build on it. Colorado's won the draw. Now let's see what they can do with it. Big time stop there.
Well, players should never be left alone in the slot, but man, is the goaltender to task here. Gets out in front of it and makes the save.
Georgiev's going to give everyone a chance to breathe and hang on to the puck. Colorado's put plenty of pucks on net here tonight, but they still trail late in the third. The Avs win it in the defensive zone. Here's a short pass to Walker. They try to maintain possession inside the defensive zone. Battling for the puck, but still hangs on. Oh, he saved it! What a stop!
Well, that's desperation at its finest, to be able to get to that puck and sending a clear message to his team that he's behind them. He's going to be the foundation tonight.
Centers glide into the dots. We're ready to get things back going again. Under a minute to go in the third. Trying to get the puck out of his own end. And they get the puck out. That's exactly what they needed.
Yeah, late in the game, you want to find a way to just get the puck out. You want to make sure you protect the middle of the ice. And listen, if your opponent doesn't have the puck in their offensive zone, guess what? You're in a good position.
From the right, fires into the empty net. Misses. Matthews fires towards the empty net. Scores into the empty net. And Pounder, I feel like you must have had a few empty netters in your day.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I was on the back end. I didn't have hands. So when I scored one, listen, I celebrated. I was down and out, fist pumping everywhere, even when it was the empty net.
It is all over. Stanley Cup champions, all those years of going to those early morning practices, Cheryl, it's all worth it.
Yeah, and their name is going to be embossed in the cup forever, and that's what it's all about. Not just the parents and the family that helped get them there, but how about their support system? I mean, a lot of players request trades to go to contending teams. Why? It's right in front of them, the Stanley Cup.
Here comes the cup and a lot of excited fingertips looking to get their hands on it.
Well, it is the dream, and of course, who is going to hoist it over their head first? That's the question, James.
Can't wait. And here comes Cap, the engine, the lifeblood, the heart and soul of this squad, and he's finally a Stanley Cup winner.
Yeah, for the first time, to be able to hoist that cup is an incredible feeling. I can just imagine the emotion that's circulating through his veins, but he has done everything for this team, both on and off the ice. This is a deserved and earned moment.
You know, for some routines, Cheryl, you say it's old hat. I don't think winning the Stanley Cup multiple times ever gets tiresome.
Oh, it can't be, James. And it's no fluke, right? You know that he plays in the regular season, how difficult it is to make the playoffs. And then to be able to go round after round. I'm telling you, he's seasoned, and that lends right through the dressing room.
As he gets his hands on the Stanley Cup, this is a well-deserving player the way he performed, Cheryl.
Yeah, I mean, he had some magic mitts out there, didn't he, James? He made everyone around him better, but it was his creativity to lead and assist, find those open lanes, tough to do during the playoffs when everything is closed off.
What a moment, all those years, and he finally is a Stanley Cup champion here, Cheryl.
Yeah, and he was so good between the pipes, wasn't he, James? I mean, you can't win without solid goaltending, and he was the backbone of this team. He deserves it, and he hoists it, and you can see the smile on his face.
The celebration continues, and they're all converging at center ice for the team pick.
Hard to believe that so many of them are banged up. Hey, James, at the arduous process of getting to the Stanley Cup final, but that's why they're all in one heap, showing the pure elation of the moment.
I appreciate the call, Darcy. And no, I think it's a good point you make, and I think it was a challenge unfulfilled because you look at how the game was playing out. After we saw that moment on the bench between the rookie and the coach, you know, I don't know if the kid ever got a chance to show what he could do or try to deliver the coach's message on the ice, just the way that the game was kind of going at the time. All right, back to the phones we go. We've got Pete in the South Shores. Hi, Pete. Lot of scuttlebutt on social media. I want to talk about this here now, but you go back to that article from earlier this week, and he's coming off this cup win, and I don't know if it's still the euphoria and that positive energy in his mind, but why are you already promising multiple cup wins? I get you like your team, but you're putting that on yourself, right? You're putting that added pressure. He already showed he can handle the pressure in the Stanley Cup playoffs winning, but why would you do that now? Why don't you wait a little more? Nevertheless, the words are out there, and I feel like everybody's going to remember once the puck drops on the season. Okay, let's get back to the phones here. Let's go to line one. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Alongside Ray Ferraro, I'm James Sabalski. Ray, obviously, on the phone. I got to be the one in studio. How are you?
I'm doing good.
A monumental first career goal. Over 150 goals scored. More than 250 points. Some polished hardware for the display case. The Calder Trophy and the Stanley Cup. Well, there you have it. And you know what? I think those comments from the coach pretty much summing up what I think a lot of us have essentially would have said and what we have been saying, I think, for the last several weeks. Absolutely incredible performance. Stanley Cup champion and also your Conn Smythe Trophy winner. You know what? There was no chance the way he played that he was leaving anything to doubt, anything to second guess. He was a man on a mission. I know that sounds so cliche, but man, look at how driven he was night in, night out. He just would not be denied. Love it. And that is a deserving Conn Smythe Trophy winner and Stanley Cup champion. All right, we got a lot more we're going to get to here on our post-game show. Lot of scuttlebutt on social media. I want to talk about this here now, but you go back to that article from earlier this week, and he's coming off this cup win, and I don't know if it's still the euphoria and that positive energy in his mind, but why are you already promising multiple cup wins? I get you like your team, but you're putting that on yourself, right? You're putting that added pressure. He already showed he can handle the pressure in the Stanley Cup playoffs winning, but why would you do that now? Why don't you wait a little more? Nevertheless, the words are out there, and I feel like everybody's going to remember once the puck drops on the season. Okay, let's get back to the phones here. Let's go to line one. And the whole narrative and the expression being good in the room, right? Chemistry is important with a team. How many times have we seen teams that are absolutely stacked with talent and they fall apart? Why? Because there was just a disconnect within the room. And I know with some reporters and some of the media members asking the kid, saying, hey, you know what, why? Well, how do you endear yourself to teammates more? I don't know if there's ever really an answer. I mean, you can go out and, try to be the best player you can be. That's one way to do it. Personally speaking, I think another great way to do it is buying everybody pizza. Because you know who likes pizza? Everybody, right? Everybody loves pizza. Let's go back to the phones here. Let's go to Brent. Brent is on line 3. And I think if we want to bring it back to him on the ice, look, I think to me, he showed a lot, especially how he finished too last year. There's a lot of potential there. And I'd be curious to see what sort of strides he can make this year on the ice, because To me, I think there are some flashes that we saw last year that show me that he has the capability to maybe be that franchise cornerstone player and be that key player that this franchise could long for years and years to come. I think he's got that potential. I mean, until you know, you don't know. But there's something special with this kid.